All right. We are live. It is Monday. Ooh, that got funky. Oh no, what happened there? Oh no. You can't be funky, sir. I need you to not be funky. Oh no. You were a good paintbrush. What happened? Ugh, damn it. Well, we'll have to mutter through. Alright, so where were we? Yes, it is Monday. It is painting day. We are picking back up on our mandala, and I made a couple of changes as I was thinking about it. After we finished stream, I decided that the purple and the blue was going to be too much. It was going to be too busy. Because I liked this color harmony we've got going here. So I changed my mind. We're going to bring the yellow back in and put that where the purple was going to go. So we're going to do yellow where the purple was supposed to be. And then I'm going to take our bleached sand color and I'm going to pop that into where the blue was going to go. Because I don't know, I got weird about it. That was way too much yellow, I think. Maybe not. Let me see if I can get these somewhat in frame so you guys can at least see the colors that we used. The ones that have a lid on them. Alright, that might annoy me, but like being so close, but we'll see. I'm so upset that my paintbrush dried funky. I didn't even notice it was doing that. So I'm thinking that we try this brush. Did I really ruin this brush? How? How did you dry so funky? Why would you do that? This brush is going to be a problem now. I need to get some brush shaper stuff. I think I can just get some liquid starch. That might fix it, but dang it. I is upset now. I mean, it's not like it was a super expensive brush, but kind of not the point. I'd been trying to take care of those ones. Because I don't know when I'm going to be able to get more brushes. Kind of have my eye on one set of brushes on Amazon right now. But we will see what comes of that. Alright, so I mean, obviously that's gonna need, um, a couple of coats. Obviously. I've got my black paint pulled out. I wasn't sure if I was gonna use some leftover artist tube of paint. Or if I wanted to use this paint in the black shade that I had. That's actually why I was a few minutes late getting going today. That and I was trying to grab my dotting tools real quick in case we get to that stage. I'm so upset over that brush getting funky. I think I might be able to fix that. Maybe some liquid starch. I don't know how much. Or maybe it's just brush soap that I need to put in there and let it dry. One of those. I gotta look it up. Oh, I forgot to do something. Okay. Got the Kindle all plugged in. And then I forgot to bring up the channel so I can see the chat. Man, this time change is kicking my ass. I am so tired. I had a heck of a time waking up today. Which kind of made me run late the rest of the morning so far. Boy, oh boy. So tired today. Alright. I did get about an hour's worth of video edited last night on one of the speed felts that I owe you guys. So I was, well, maybe more like 45 minutes, something like that. Something in that range. Which was good for me because I got a little bit of a delayed start. I didn't get any tissue paper twisted. I got a very bare minimal amount twisted. before my hand was like, no, I'm too tired for this. I'm like, no. It does save us time on tissue paper days if I have at least some of this pre-twisted, but if body is like, no. I know I have a line here to follow, but my line is not quite very well lined up through the whole thing, so it is a little wobbly. Plus my neighbor's truck woke me up. I think at 5:30. It was so loud, it sounded like the whole wall was vibrating. And I was so confused because I was half asleep, and then I registered that the dog was curled up next to me. I'm not even sure when he did that because I was facing the wall at that point. I think I vaguely remember him jumping in, but I don't remember when. Like, I don't always check the time. I don't know if I'm going to outline this. That might be too much. But at the same time, I really kind of want to. At least parts of it, but it might be weird if I'm only outlining parts of it. But then again, it might be okay. What color was this? I believe this was Fuzzy Duck. From Deco Art Americana. But really, you know, whatever paint brand color combo is gonna tickle your brain. And give you that little giggle of yes. Okay. So it's a little wonky. My hand likes to be a little bit wobbly. I love this pattern. Didn't love it at first, but the longer I look at it, these look like open books. This would be like a great piece in like a library or a study, and you could also like turn these into like book covers. And you could very carefully with a Sharpie or something write in the titles of books that you love or books that you've read. Like you could even go so far as to like do this in like a cream and then take either a really fine point Sharpie or like maybe a grayish dusty blue and then like kind of like paint page lines in. So that is also an option. Probably gonna need to do a maintenance rinse here in just a minute. I'll try to make it all the way around before we end up doing one. Oh, get out of there. So hope everybody's doing okay today. For us, it's another day. of, oh dear God, what now? So we are doing what we can to get through. As best as we can. Gonna clean that edge up when we go to do the cream color, because that got a little carried away there. Hold on one second. Sorry, I thought my mom wanted something. She was just moving stuff around in the pantry. Like, our pantry is right outside our bedroom door, so all I could see was feet. Under what we're using as a door. And it kind of looked like she was standing there waiting. Okay. Alright, so we got one more to do the first pass on here. And I've got the black paint, so I can do a cleanup pass on the whole thing. Because it's a little smudgy, it's a little fingerprinted, it's a little scuffed. So I'm not sure I can really recommend a black canvas purchase. I mean, they're fun. It saves you a little bit of time, but do keep in mind that you might have to do touch-ups to it. Depending on what you're doing. Put that little caveat in there. Okay, so we are on this one. So let me go ahead and clean up our brushy friend here. Get that extra paint buildup out of it. As best as we can. Alright, so now we're going to start coat 2. And I think Fuzzy Duck I had to do like 3 coats on. Because it is a yellow. This color's a little bit transparent. Now this paint isn't as bad as the old brand we were using. So we don't have to do as many passes. Because that old brand we were using, oh boy. That paint was a nightmare. It's what I could afford, but at the time. But it didn't mean I was happy about it. And that was taking upwards of 4 to 6 coats to really get a good opaque layer on there. If we were doing something like this. At least as far as like base coat wise. Actually, that second pass isn't so bad. We might do a third one just for good measure. But not everything on here needed a third pass. Some stuff only needed 1 pass. I think I gave it 2 though, just to be on the safe side, but you know what? If you're not happy with the opacity on it, give it another pass. You know your paint. You can see what your color is going to do in front of you. The only thing you're really losing is some time. Like the time that it takes to get that other pass in there. Part of me really wants to take some of our bleached sand and mix a little bit of it into each of our colors that we've used so far, just to get a slightly lighter version. Yeah, I guess we will do a third pass because that one's a little bit transparent up in there in a couple of spots, just to get like a lighter shade of it. To like outline, but I don't know if that would be too much. Because this is already pretty busy. Now, if you wanted to monotone this, you could. Or at least like just go with one color but different shades of that color. So you could like maybe the one color and like an accent to it. That is also a possibility. But yeah, I think this is better not doing the purple. And the blue. I mean, it might have looked different with those two, but those two were going to be so much brighter that I was worried it would just be weird, since those two colors were only going to be in this outer ring, right? So I was like, I liked the thought of putting them in, but I was just worried it would be too much and that I was going to hate it. And you know what? We're allowed to change our minds. But after seeing how these colors were working together, I was like, nope. That's probably too much. All right. We will get the second pass done on here. Get the second coat figured out. And we probably will do at least a quick touch-up third pass on this color. Just to fill in any remaining thin spots. Alright, so we're on this guy. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I'm not sure how much longer it's going to take us to finish Coral Island, but we are getting there. Those last two bits for the museum are being really stubborn at appearing. But hopefully they will show eventually. My husband's heading back outside. I wasn't sure what he was doing. Snuffles, go lay down. Okay. It's not looking so bad. The third pass will just also triply make sure that we can't see the bits of purple that I had dropped in there. And I was originally laying out my color selection, so I knew where everybody was going to go. I can clean up that little bit of wobbly line when we come in and add the tan tone in there. That should be fine. We're almost done second pass, so second pass wraps up here. All right. This worked into here. To be a little bit careful so I don't get too crazy outside my line, because I'll constantly be chasing the line with another coat, and then I'll be like all the way to the edge of the canvas before I know it. But that's also where our black paint's going to come in. When we do our cleanup pass on everybody. Not sure, I think I might do the black pass absolutely last, because I've got those circle guys to fill in. And I could try to paint around the circle guys as they are. But I kind of think maybe I want to do the cleanup pass last on this guy. I do have my dotting tools pulled out. Now, I don't have a fancy paint palette like some people do. I'm using the container of one of the lids I'm using the lid of one of the containers. Oh my god, my brain sometimes talking backwards. Using the lid of one of the containers that I have the bottles of paint separated out in, so I can pick through the colors a little bit faster. My goal eventually is to have an art room space and have acrylic stands that I can have the paint colors displayed on right there in arm's reach, so I can just grab them and have the colors already displayed. That way I'm not like digging through colors constantly, and everybody's right there at my fingertips. Okay. And pass number 2 on this color is complete. Now, I don't have to go too crazy on pass 3. I did put too much yellow out, but that's okay. Just cleaning off my brush here. I don't want the paint to dry in it, you know? That'll be a whole nother host of problems. I mean, it'll be worse than what I've got going on with that other brush. I don't really need all that much on here either. I just need a little bit of a pass just to make sure that we've covered this guy as good as we can. Like, I certainly don't need to do like 30 coats on this or anything. That's crazy. Like, I technically don't really have to do this third pass. This last pass is just a kind of final clean everything up sort of pass. Essentially. So I don't have to be as picky as the other passes that we've done so far. I mean, I still want to be careful that I don't get a little too crazy here and dip into the pink section. That wouldn't be a good time. But does just give us a final cleaning up stage here. Trying to get it to where it's not so streaky. I would also like to not live on such a busy road. Hard to find any peace living on this road. But maybe too much quiet isn't a good thing either for me. Like, I don't think I'd mind, like, distant traffic. But it's kind of hard to sit outside and enjoy a nice day with, how loud the traffic is here and how busy it is here. So the one park that we've been taking the dogs to lately, it's kind of in the middle of a subdivision. And I do not believe there's an HOA on this subdivision. I could be wrong. But I don't think there is. But like all of the houses are built pretty similar. There's like a couple different styles. And today we noticed that 90% of the mailboxes are identical. And I'm just like, ugh. There's like no personality in these houses. They all look the same. It was creepy. Like, same identical mailbox. A lot of them were on the same post. A couple of the mailboxes had brick around them. I don't know if that was an added on thing, but the ones that did looked the same. So at least the same person put those in, I guess. But it's just weird. Where's my second pass end? Oh no. I've lost where second pass ended and third pass began. Shit. You would think that that would be easy to distinguish here. I feel like it's this one. But I'm not 100% certain. Alright, well, we'll go with that. Okay, so let me rinse my brush. And dry that guy. I'm using like the same paper towel for weeks. It's still drying, right? It's doing what we asked it to do. Alright. Now, I need to get our sand color here. This paint, if it's like a thick enough puddle, not super thick, but not super thin either, it's just peeling right up off of this lid, so that's one of the leftover bits from last week. Alright, we have not used this bleached sand tan gray color yet. So let's get him really shook up here. Alright, let's see. So this is the color on the lid. Just gonna go a little bit at a time on this one, because I might have to do a couple of passes, and we've got a long ways to go, so I don't want it to dry out before we get through all of it. Alright. Shall we begin? Alright. Now this yellow section and this like tan color that we are putting in here now, this was not part of the original stencil. But I decided to modify the stencil. And added this bit in. This color will need at least one more pass. Yeah, it kind of looks like a book open. Now this color isn't anywhere else yet, but I'm going to add it in. The dots around the middle. Because I'm not sure if I'm doing rhinestones on this one. I haven't fully decided yet. yeah, definitely want another pass on this color. Hi, puppy. There's a Zuzu here. Not technically a puppy, but... Where are you? I thought you nudged my chair. When I turned around and you weren't there. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can get Daddy. Hold on. Hold on. Everybody hold your fur. Hold on. Let me see if I can get a hold of the dad. Oh, there he is. We got a hold of him.
You're thumping your butt at mommy.
Someone's decided that you are outside.
Are you thumping your butt at mommy?
And that's not allowed. For you to be outside. I think he nudged my chair.
Alright, butt thump. Come on.
And then he was tapping over there. Do you have one or both?
One.
Okay. Alright. So... I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I have just done the yellow in the middle of these guys? I'm not sure how I feel about this color. This color is a lot grayer than I expected it to be. Kind of feels more like a concrete gray. I thought it was going to be a little bit more... I mean, I'm going to keep going with it. I don't think I've done enough to really be certain. And now that I've started it, it's going to be weird if only some of them have it. I think mistakes were made. But I'm gonna... I don't know. Like, yes, we can paint over it. But if I don't have this uniform through, the paint over is gonna be a little strange. Because I'm kind of already in Regretville. I thought this was gonna be a little bit whiter, to be perfectly honest. I didn't want bright blazing white, but I thought this would be like a little bit more cream. This is drying a lot darker than it is out of the bottle. You know? kind of don't know if it should also be fuzzy duck or maybe if it should be our like sherbet color here. I'm kind of leaning towards the sherbet color. But if we do this the sherbet color, yeah. All right. So I'm just gonna kind of finish the base pass of this. And I'm gonna change the color. Because I'm not happy with this color. It looks wrong. So I am going to grab our orange color from the middle. So I was just sitting here trying to visualize it for a moment of this color dot being in the middle, right? And I still don't think it's gonna look right. So with that being the case, I think it's going to be better to just finish out this base color. And then we will grab the orange, fill the orange in with this on top of this gray color, right? I mean, that might change the shade of the orange, but I think that's something that we can overcome. Like, I think we can deal with that a little bit better. And then on the dots, I'm gonna see if the dots are of a number that I can alternate the greens with. And that'll probably be the better way to go for this. Sometimes you just don't know how a color is going to interact until you get everybody in. And it kind of feels like what's going on here. I mean, it might have been better if I'd gone with like a lighter cream, but looking at this on here, it does feel cold. This color would be like a good grout line color. if you are like painting a faux mosaic. Do I want the yellow going down the middle and the orange in between? Or do I just want the orange? That I don't know. We might start with the orange in between and then kind of take it from there. Kind of situation. I mean, it's not terrible. A couple of passes and it might work. But it suddenly has a different feel. But yeah, I think we definitely need the orange in here somewhere. We're almost halfway done with this pass before I can switch over. Glad I didn't put more of this out here. I mean, it wasn't all that much. But any bit of unused paint makes me sad. Cause budget, man. Okay. Alright, so Get this guy. Slid into here. I'm trying to go quickly and neat at the same time, and those don't always work out so well for me. It's either one or the other. A fast neat doesn't always happen. More often than not, it does not. Yeah, my hand just wants to go in all of the different directions here. It's like, oh, you want to be this diagonal? No, 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 we don't want a diagonal. My hand's like, well, I do. All right. And we'll get this guy. This one's a little trickier, right? Because I need to get a few more spots than we did with the yellow. And this is another improvised part, modified part of that stencil. This was just a bit I added in. The only part of the original stencil of this outer ring is the pink. The pink bits are the original part of the outer ring. Like the diamonds, like the pink, the greens, the peaches, all that. That's all part of the original stencil. This yellow on the outer ring is not. And this gray stone color that we're putting in here at the moment is not. These are bits I just kind of felt like we needed. Alright, we're almost done this color and then I can swap. Like, I wasn't sure we were going to finish this today. Really hadn't anticipated finishing this today. I really want to get back to my Bob Ross painting series where we were using the gouache instead of the oil paint. That is still on my to-do list. Okay, just have a few more to go on this color. And then I'll go grab that orange. And we'll see how we feel. All right, so we've got what, 4 more? Before we color swap. So how is everybody doing today? You guys all right? Everybody doing okay? What part of the world are you all hanging out from? And what is your favorite crafty thing to do? Or arty thing to do, for that matter? There's so many different medium types and whatnot around. There is certainly plenty to go around. I will always like to paint to some degree. But I also like needle felting. I enjoy tissue paper art as well. I've got a big tissue paper art piece that I'm working on at the moment on a 36 by 48 canvas. Okay, so the placement on those isn't bad. But yeah, not this color. It's just a little too gray. It changed the feel of the whole thing. Entirely. So let me go back and get our orange guy here. Let's get him real shook up. What is this? This is peaches and cream. Oh right, this is my broken cap. Oh. Gross. Oh, don't wipe it on the pants. We need these pants to be somewhat. Oh, okay. I'll say now it doesn't want to close. That's not good. We need these pants to be somewhat functionable for other things. Okay. I'm gonna grab our peaches and cream color here. And I grabbed way too much of this color. On my plate, that is. Alright. We will get this filled into here. So I'm probably going to do a second pass on that color. Yeah. I think that's gonna be our better option. I just don't know if I want fuzzy duck running down the middle. Or if it should be our orange color. That's kinda... Or, yeah. I said that right, yeah. Like, what do we want to do with that? You can tell I didn't do a second one of these ahead of time to work out my color scheme. That probably would have been the wiser thing to do. To do like a first attempt in a sketchbook. So I skipped that middle one. So I'm kind of unsure how I want to proceed. But after seeing those first few of the other color, it looked like a grayed out version of this, which is I think what's making my brain be weird about it. They're like, not what I was intending. Yellow is so bright. Almost drowning out everything else. This outer edge. We're not giving up yet, though. We just have to find our stride here. And what we're gonna feel better about. So, I'm gonna try one thing. I don't know if this is gonna look right. But we still have some fuzzy duck that's usable here. And this might change the look of the piece entirely. Right? Now it kind of looks like doors opening. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna stick with the solid yellow. At least on the shorter sticks. They feel more like puzzle pieces, kind of slotting together. I don't want the yellow to overpower everything. I will come back with the yellow. But the yellow that I have out is almost dry on the lid here, so since we just put the peaches and cream down, I would like to do that color first. Okay. So I know it's going to look a little weird for a few minutes until we get that yellow fixed. I'll only have one slot of peach to paint over. So we should still be okay. The peach is going to take a couple of passes though to get that looking all right. But now we don't have as many peachy guys to paint. Not sure if that's a good thing or not. We'll see. Just, I think doing this in all yellow might be a little too much yellow. Like, we're gonna come back and add some other things to this, which is why I'm like, yeah, I don't think we're finishing this today. Probably one more session on this guy. Probably. Then I gotta figure out what we're gonna do here after that. fuzzy there. It happens. Especially in this house. Not really sure whose fuzzy it was. Kind of looked black. The only black one we have, well, the only one that has, well, no, that's not true. I was gonna say the only black one we had was cow, but he's not fully black. He looks like a black and white milk cow. But we also have Peabody. And Littles. They're both like that. Like tabby stripe. Like browns and blacks and stuff. Alright, that little misstep right there, we can clean that up with the black paint pass. I want to do the black paint pass, I think, before. No, we're going to do that after. Never mind. I said I was going to do it after. I was like, before we do the detailing, but I forgot. I've got those circles down there. And I could just try to paint around them before I've painted the circles in. But I don't know. That might be more of a challenge. I gotta think about it. Part of me wants to do it before I do the dotting tools. Because it's not that interesting of a task, so I'd like to get that done before we start detailing, so I can just think about the details. Okay. Come on, fuzzies. There's one thing I want you to not do at this very second. Is be causing chaos. What the heck did I do there? Paint on that fingernail somehow. Not quite sure how I managed that, but I did. Not like it matters, my nails aren't the pretty fancy girly nails. I hate stuff touching my fingernails. Don't like that weighted sensation. I very rarely, very, very rarely will do nail polish. Oh, I should probably do a maintenance rinse on our brush friend here. Okay. We're gonna keep going with this color because it needs at least a second coat. Because while coat number 1 of this color, it didn't dry too badly. And I'm pretty sure we're going to add some more details to these sections, whether it's lines or dots or something. I'm going to do something. I just don't know what yet. So I kind of want this to be a happy, non-streaky version of itself. Or we get to that stage. My cable did come. I said that yesterday. We tried the cable. It does work. So, yay. And I can't wait to get back to working on that. I would work on it during the week, like after I get dinner's mess cleaned up, but with me having to set up lighting and everything, it's a bit of a pain in the ass breaking everything down and setting it all back up to only maybe get an hour, hour and a half at most. By the time I get done dealing with everything else from the day that still needs to be dealt with. Like making dinner, doing dishes, doing our walk at night if we take one that day, and dealing with any errands that may or may not need to be dealt with. Just taking a moment to sit back, get my eyes off of it for a moment, because sometimes when you look at something for a while, you don't really see what you're doing anymore. And sometimes actually looking at it through the camera can give you a different feel for how things are going as well. So, sorry about that. It's just taking a minute. Okay. Sometimes we all just need to take a minute. You know? A minute to breathe, a minute to get something to drink, a minute to look at what we're doing, a minute to straighten up from our bent over our project position. Kind of sad we're done Bear and Breakfast already. We've played it a couple of months. And honestly, I don't know what we're gonna do now that I'm done playing it. The way I've got it scheduled to go up on the YouTube channel, the last episode's gonna go up in April, like towards the end of April. But I don't know what we're gonna do on the YouTube channel now for our non-archival stuff. Means I'm gonna have to actually take some time to think about that. And I just don't know. Kind of at a loss. We could do some doodles. I already have something picked out for when we finish Coral Island. I was really hoping it was going to be Sugardew Island, and I'm mad that it's not going to be. Based off of what I've been seeing. everybody respond about it. So I'm like, oh, I really wanted to like that game. The art style looked kind of cool. But we're gonna do Moonstone Island instead. Just kind of like farming, mining. It's kind of like Coral Island, except with much more pixely. And instead of cleaning up the ocean, we are hunting spirits and either banishing them or capturing them. Kind of like a Pokemon aspect of it. I don't know how long it takes to really get through that game. I've only played about well, maybe about 3 to 5 hours in there. And like all of these townspeople keep giving me stuff to do, and I'm like, do I have to do all of this within a year? Because that's a lot. I didn't want to go too far, right? Because A, I don't want to be burnt out on it before we even start streaming it. And B, I kind of want us to do that together. Although it's been out for a while, so I'm sure a lot of people already have finished the game. And have long since moved on. I mean, we've got Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley sometimes gives me a headache, though. I mean, I used to play it all the time, but now anymore, I don't know if something happened with the lighting. Something in there sometimes triggers a migraine for me. And we could also revisit No Place Like Home. Because we didn't get very far on that. If I even streamed it, I don't remember. If I did, it was the period of time where I just stopped exporting stuff over from the YouTube channel. For a brief second, I lost my positioning in the circle. Okay, so I'm gonna rinse that. Temperatures to plummet on Saturday. High pollen today. No shit. It always says high pollen here anymore. I could have told you it was high pollen before I even got out of bed. My eyes are like glued shut. They kind of hurt when I tried to open them this morning. Alright, Fuzzy Duck. Alright, so technically this would be pass number 2. So 2 passes might be enough. Maybe. Maybe. Let's see how filling this in goes. I mean, we do have the that stone color underneath, where we didn't have that on the first attempt at the ducky. Okay. We'll get this guy filled in. All right, yeah, I think I'm liking that change that we made a little bit better. Looks like it fits a little bit better now. Definitely need a second pass on fuzzy duck here on this middle bit. All right. And we've got the peach section done already. Got one little strand sticking out on this guy. And I really don't want to switch brushes again. Like, I don't know if reshaping that guy is going to fix it. I certainly hope so, because if I can't, I'm gonna have to save him for like shrubbery work or something where he can be a little bit messy. Oh gosh, I missed painting it. I skipped right over it. Oh no, we didn't get there yet. Okay, never mind. Never mind, my brain's just seeing it funny. At least I don't think we got to it yet. No, that's right, because I started at where we originally put the test color in to see which one I was gonna like better. That's always concerning. Dump truck going by and the brakes starting to squeak after the last dump truck incident. It's always a little ass clenchy. It's like, oh no, why am I hearing that? Not a fan. Not a fan at all. I do have to figure out what I'm gonna do about this peaches and cream bottle, though. I might have to tape that lid closed. And then I might put it in a Ziploc bag just in case the tape doesn't hold. So if the bottle goes everywhere, at least it will be contained to itself. You know? That might be the only solution I have. To be perfectly honest. That might be my only option for trying to keep it. And there's nothing wrong with it aside from the lid broke. And the seemed to be a manufacturing error or something happened in shipping. Or when it got to the paint store. Maybe somebody dropped it. Or something. Hi, who's on my feet? Hello? Oh, I should have known. Good afternoon. Can I help you? You cannot come up here today. We're painting. We're very much painting right now. I cannot have you in the middle of paint, sir. I know this displeases you. But don't be messing with my wires down there either, okay? This camera's been behaving since we switched the cards out. I really don't want to lose this camera now because of you. Okay? Are you happy today? Cow's at my feet. He's on the container that the rest of our paint bottles are stored in at the moment. I don't know why he's climbing over my feet at the moment. I think he's trying to figure out how to get up here.
No.
What are you doing?
He's looking at me through the top of your computer.
Yes, that's a cardboard box. I have a big ass shipping box. Not big, but like medium sized shipping box that the tissue paper arrived in. That has all of my bags of cut tissue paper. Because I had to cut all of the paper at once. At the very least for storing purposes. It's just easier to store it with it being trimmed. I do need to change how I am sitting though. Oh, stream boo. Can we stop with the stream boo? Again, with the brand new accounts. Like, do people actually... Are people that desperate that they're buying viewers? Like, that's not going to get you anywhere. It might temporarily, but you're losing money to try to make money. And even if you temporarily make a little bit more money than you're expending, the second you stop spending the money on it, all of the money goes away. So I don't understand. I feel like you are in my ear. I feel like I can hear you wheezing in my ear. Where are you? Maybe it's the background of what I'm listening to. Because I don't see you.
Who?
Cow.
He's right here on my desk.
Oh, he's on your desk. I sounded like he was right in my ear. Oh, so we need to do one more pass on that. I just wanted to do a maintenance rinse on our brush real quick. We don't have to do, or I don't think we need to do, I'll put it that way, 3 passes on this color in this spot. We did have that like gray color, or it turned out to be a gray like color down first. This fuzzy duck is almost reminiscent of like a mac and cheese color. Somebody's car is not having a good time. Or moped or something. It is struggling. Alright. Kind of got a little wonky there because I was looking at the cat instead of paying attention to what I was doing in that spot. Okay. So we've got that. Now, clean that up. Alright, so we need to get our black color here. If I can get it pulled up off of here. There we go. Alright, so this is Lamp Ebony Black. We might need more than what I put down. We will see. Okay. So this pass doesn't have to be like super precise. I mean, it has to be precise or at least careful. Around the edge of our design here. But as we come out to the edges, we can be a little bit quicker. Because, I mean, we are putting black on black, it's essentially. But this is to clean up our scuff marks. Any weird smudges with like the chalk and stuff. Any weird bits where, for whatever reasoning, the gesso got weird on the corners. I think I had to do this on the last one too. So the, careful, the black out here might change a little bit. It might look a little more muted or matter. Matte, M-A-T-T-E-R. Compared to the gessoed sections. Now, I'm not sure. I just kind of had the thought of maybe we add something to the corners, but I don't know yet. I don't know if that would be too busy or just enough. Like we could maybe add in like a diamond shape or something, or a triangular shape. Now, this might be overkill for some people, but it bugged my brain how scuffy the the black canvas was. Like, it's chipped or wasn't well applied for the black gesso on some sections. And I didn't have any black gesso in an attempt to fix the situation on my own. So this is how we're gonna fix it. I mean, it saves us a little bit of time from having to be a little extra careful in painting in an entire white canvas black. So it does save a little bit of time. Not really sure if you can even tell the difference between where I have gone over this. I mean, you can certainly tell where my hand has wobbled. So I was saying, up close, we do need to be a little bit more careful. The corners kind of feel empty to me. So I might do something with the greens in the corner, maybe. Don't know what yet, excuse me. So I haven't redone the edges yet. There's going to be sirens going by in just a second. Hopefully they won't be too loud. I'm not sure how loud they're going to be, if the microphone even picks them up. It's like they turned. Never mind. They came close. But it sounds like they turned right before they got to our house here. So I hear more sirens, so I don't know what happened. First I was thinking maybe it's just an ambulance call. Maybe it's a car accident. More than likely. We did have a fire truck pass us last night. First we thought it was fire rescue who shows up on a lot of the ambulance calls, but it was straight up fire truck. Okay. So we still kind of need to paint the interior. Give that a quick once over. I know I was originally saying I was going to do the detail work before this part, but I kept worrying back and forth, and I was like, you know what? I'd like to get this part done. At the very least. And I can see a little bit of a difference, if anything, in the shade of black. Like this section over here feels a little more matte than this side does. It could just be an illusion, but it feels a little more flatter. Like, I'm looking at this color drying on the plate, that white tan color. And it looks a lot different. Maybe I should have given it more of a chance and just built up the coats on it first. Before my brain had a little panic of like, oh no, I didn't trust the process. This looks bad. But I think it looks a little bit better now. I will get this side when we are done the rest of it. Like you can kind of see some brush strokes here. And spots. Possibly of sections where I didn't get a good enough amount of paint in there. But I don't know that I did that section yet either. So it could just be hand smudgies. I'm like trying to cordon off sections So I know, yes, I've been here. For sure. Like I see some scuffy marks like up into here, so I don't think I got that section yet. Okay. I mean, you can see where it looks a little splotchy. That's where the paint is wet. There's some sections that are gessoed here that look sparkly. And I don't know why. So this is just flat black acrylic that I'm putting down over top of the black gesso. Just to clean up these smudgies. Hand smudgies, chalk smudgies, fingerprints, handprints, you know. Just trying to clean up any scuffies. Because scuffs happen, it seems, with this. Lost track of where I had done my little cut-in. For the section that I was filling in. Out to the edge here. I'm probably going to need to put a little bit more of this paint down on the lid here. Because I still need to come back and do the sides. And then we need to do our cleanup pass in the middle. Sorry, I didn't realize I was off the camera there. Okay. So I like this brush for some things. But the ferrule, the top edge of it, was cutting into my finger. So I have taken some Dollar General masking tape. And just kind of ended up wrapping the entire edge up here. Keep it from cutting into my finger. And I wrapped it a little exaggerated, like up into the handle itself. Just to try to give it more room to hold on to. And so far, it seems to be holding fairly well. Ooh, cut that in a little too much. I don't think it's bad enough that I need to come back and adjust it with the other colors, but it's enough where we have to be careful. And we still need to also do our touch-up path in the middle. So not only just the sides too, but okay, we've almost made it all the way around. Almost. Really? Now you're gonna tap? Like, I'd rather you not be tappy tappy tapping. But this brush doesn't do too bad. I'm reasonably happy with it for some things. Sometimes it can be a little streaky. But for what we're doing here, just touching up this large bit of the background here, it's more than good enough. It's gonna get the job done. I don't know why. And I feel like I'm losing my mind, but some of these cars that are going by sound like they're sloshing through a puddle. Or like the water, or like the road's wet or something. And I know it's not. But it sounds like it. Shit. Entirely my fuck up there. That piece of fuzz, I think, has just become part of this. Alright, I actually might need to hit a little bit of yellow on that one. Because I got a little carried away. My hand put a little too much pressure in that specific spot. I feel like it might be a touch noticeable. Or we do I mean, it's still a little noticeable, but Got some weird streakiness happening over here, so which is kind of impressive for it being black on black, but maybe our paint was a little bit thinner. Okay. Now, clean up our sides here. Just a bit. Don't want these to be all scuffy, especially if somebody decides to hang it. With out of frame. Right, so we kind of want our sides looking somewhat cleaned up here. Oh, okay. Like, what is that white thing on the side of the canvas there? That is just the way the light is hitting that wet spot. Now I'm going to skip doing the very back. Because that's either going to be in a frame or looking at the back of the wall, and that's fine. Like, more than fine. We don't need to be so worried about that. I do need to see how dry that other side is before I go and turn this again. Not quite dry enough. Why are you so weird there? Are you just not dry yet? Like the rest of you dried. So I don't know what's happening there. Hopefully it's just not fully dry yet. Need a little bit more of our black paint here. I've got black paint on my fingers because we do. Like this side's not so bad. Probably could have gotten away without it. I mean, I could put a fan on to help dry it faster, but my fan is right behind my microphone. So that's not going to be a good time for anybody. Like, yeah, this side we might have been able to get away without doing it. But at the same time, I didn't want it to look funny from the other sides. In case when we go to seal it, it makes the different shades of black pop. Alright, I might have put too much black paint down, but I still need to touch up that middle, so maybe not. There's a chance I don't have enough. Okay. Like, shit. Okay. Like this section over here, it still feels a little splotchy, but hopefully that won't be too much of a thing. Like I usually have a cloth towel that I dry my brushes on, but I couldn't find it the one day and I had a paper towel. I'm like, I'll just roll with this. And so I've been using it for several projects. Okay. The inside doesn't really look like it needs all that much touching up, though. I will say that. There's a couple bits here and there. That look a little ragged. Not like overly so. Just like little spots here and there. Okay. So now I need to figure out. Okay, so if we do, I need a point of reference here. I need to do this so faintly. All right. The question is, though, do we want to opposite it? Or do we want it the same shade? Husband, what would you do?
Which part?
So I've got these circles. I nixed that white color because it looked too gray on this canvas. So I've got these circles around the yellow part on the interior. And I've got the green, the two different shades of green diamonds on this row. And the one point of the diamond kind of lines up with the circle. Would you do the same color green as its matching diamond, or would you opposite it to the dark green? Opposite it?
Yeah.
So if we go, I'm gonna do this a little bit better. I'm just trying to see how we.
The same color?
No, I'm just very lightly putting this in. I'm going to use the dotting tools to fully lay this in. Light. 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 Okay, they were pretty evenly spaced. I swear, this TV we have hanging on the wall is haunted. Every so often it makes a noise like you've touched it, or somebody turned it on or off or something. It goes doo-doo. And nobody's done anything to it. So if we do that, then I guess the center color should be pink. Right? Two. Okay, so I do have time to whip out some of the dotting tools. I wasn't sure if I did. But I'm also trying to figure out if I want to do something on these corners. I kind of do. I kind of want to put our diamond shape in these corners. If I can get away with it. But that's the thing. I don't know if I can. And should I... Like, I don't know if I want to whip out the stencil. I can kind of see that. Because it's not really a triangle. Yeah, I need you to move over there. The question is... if I do you by hand, how bad are you going to look? I mean, you kind of just look like a square, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I kind of want to whip out the stencil to at least get the shape right, because we know that shape's not right. I don't see any of my eraser bits anywhere when I need them. Of course not, so... Because, I mean, I could try to freehand these, but... it's not going to go well. Touch this up a bit with some of the black paint if it comes to it. Alright, so let me see. At the risk of smudging this stuff I have in again. Let's see if I can... I'm not sure. I am lined up in the right spot. So yeah, I'm gonna have to touch that up a bit more. So I had him like pretty much right there in the corner. Now if I'd actually done this with the tracing paper, I'd have a better idea of where I'm at. So that's a little too... Okay, that's a little better. Me and my brain for not remembering I wanted to do this. Still looks kind of like a square to me, but like I'm not gonna repaint the entire thing again. Just around. These edges. It's like getting them the exact placement as each other is a little difficult. Really gonna clean up these corners. Just a bit. Okay. And then from there, It needs something. And off of these points in here. Now, what color am I going to make these? I don't know. Haven't the slightest idea. Hold on one second. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, I am just kinda cleaning up our edge one more time. Around where we just put those in. I forgot I had wanted to do that. So that's kind of my own silliness right there. This looked like I missed a spot here. The shade of black is a little bit darker there, which kind of feels like it's the gesso. So this one's a little bit softer. So I might do a few more details around these corner pieces, like maybe just with dots or something. Or maybe like the dotty swipes or whatever. But that part we can figure out next week when we get down to the dotting tools. See, I had pulled them out. And because I pulled them out, we didn't need them. But it's also a time of day where I didn't really want to start messing with those, and we didn't have that much time left because I need to mix the paint to get it dotting tool suitable. And I don't know if I'm going to mix it on here or if I'm going to use a different palette. I'm going to mix it on here. I need to clean this. Just because I'm going to need the little well sections. So I'm just gonna, again, clean up these edges around where we were popping those shapes in. Okay, that looks pretty good there. So next week, we'll pop out the dotty tools and we'll get down to adding a bit more detail and stuff. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I mean, we could paint these in now, but I don't know what colors I want them to be yet. I'm kind of leaning towards the greens. Maybe too dark, too light, and then their opposite green colors on the little triangle. It's what I'm leaning towards. And that's probably what we'll end up doing, but I'd rather do that next week, and that'll give this black paint a chance to dry as well. So that'll be it for today. Tomorrow we'll be back and we will be doing our needle felting. I'm gonna see if we can start a little bit early tomorrow. We'll see if I get up in time to start early tomorrow. We'll see. If life allows, then we will start early so we can try to finish that guy tomorrow. If not, then we might not finish it tomorrow. And we'll have to finish it the following week. But we'll see what happens with that. And then Wednesday we will be back to around normal start time for Planet Zoo, and we'll be doing some more work on our bear areas, and all that stuff. So you guys have a good evening, and I hope to see you tomorrow for needle felting.